Gotham was silent the night Batman stopped fearing the dark. Not because crime ended. Not because justice won. But because something ancient answered him from beyond the stars. A power that didn't belong on Earth. And once it chose him, there was no going back. For years, Bruce Wayne believed fear was his greatest weapon. He mastered it, became it. But on one impossible night, fear wasn't enough. Presence reached into his mind. Calm, endless, alive. And it offered him something far more dangerous than vengeance. It offered him balance. What happens when a man who already walks the line is given the power to erase it? Because the moment Bruce accepted it, everything began to change. It started after a mission that should have ended like any other. Rain, sirens, a broken rooftop. Batman stood over a defeated enemy, knuckles bruised, breath heavy. But something felt wrong. Not outside him, inside. His heartbeat slowed. The noise of Gotham faded. And then, silence. A silence so complete it felt louder than chaos. That's when he heard it. Not a voice. A feeling. Ancient. Watching. Waiting. He stumbled back. Grappling hook misfired. For the first time in years, he almost fell. And as he caught himself, the world shifted. The rain froze midair. Time itself seemed to hesitate. In that impossible stillness, Bruce saw visions. Twin suns. Crumbling temples. Warriors cloaked in light. And a word burned into his thoughts. The Force. The moment passed. Rain crashed down again. Gotham screamed back to life. Bruce escaped, shaken, mind racing. He told himself it was exhaustion, trauma. But deep down he knew better. That night, in the Batcave, something followed him home. The computers flickered. Lights dimmed. And without touching anything, tools began to move. Slowly, carefully, as if learning him. Bruce didn't panic. He observed, tested. He focused, reached out, and a batarang lifted into the air, perfectly still. His breath caught. Years of discipline kept him calm, but his heart knew the truth. This wasn't technology. This was power, and power always had a cost. Days passed, then weeks. Bruce trained in secret. Meditation replaced sleep. Control replaced instinct. The Force responded to his will like it had been waiting for him. But it also showed him things. Visions of Gotham burning, of allies falling, of himself standing alone, blade in hand, surrounded by shadows. The Force didn't judge. It only revealed paths, and every path demanded choice. The first real test came when Joker escaped Arkham again. Chaos spread fast. Hostages. Explosives. Laughter echoing through abandoned tunnels. Batman arrived like always. But this time, when a trigger was pulled, Bruce didn't move. He didn't need to. The bullet stopped inches from his face. Hung there, trembling. Joker stared. Silent. For once. And that silence terrified him more than any punch ever had. Batman ended it in seconds. Too fast. Too clean. No bruises. No broken bones. Just absolute control. Gotham whispered the next day. Criminals spoke of a ghost. A demon. Something worse than the Bat. Bruce told himself he could handle it. That he would never cross the line. But the Force didn't care about lines. Only balance. And Gotham was never balanced. Then the dreams changed. The calm faded. Anger crept in. Every injustice echoed louder. Every failure burned deeper. The Force answered stronger when Bruce was angry. Faster. Sharper. He noticed it. Tried to resist. But resisting meant holding back. And holding back meant people died. The choice became unbearable. Alfred saw it before Bruce did. The stillness. The distance. "You're carrying too much," he said. Bruce said nothing. Because how do you explain that the universe itself is asking you to become more than human? How do you refuse when it shows you a future where you could stop everything? The breaking point came when Superman confronted him. Not as an enemy, as a friend. Clark felt it. The disturbance. The imbalance. They stood on a rooftop under a quiet sky. No punches. Just words. Clark warned him. Power changes people. Even the best of them. Bruce listened. Truly. But the Force whispered at the same time. It showed him a world where gods fell. Where even Superman failed. And in every vision Batman stood alone, but victorious. Their alliance fractured that night. Not in anger. In fear. Fear of what Bruce was becoming. And fear of what he might be right about. Bruce searched for answers beyond Earth. Ancient texts. Forgotten myths. He found references hidden in places no one thought to look. Symbols older than Gotham. Older than humanity. Proof that the Force had touched Earth before. And every time it ended the same way. With a protector becoming a tyrant. Or a martyr. He didn't stop. He couldn't. Because the Force wasn't just power. It was clarity. And clarity showed him Gotham would never heal. Not without sacrifice. The final confrontation came when Gotham's villains united. A war in the streets. Fire. Screams. Innocence trapped. Batman descended not as a symbol, but as judgment. In the chaos, Bruce ignited it. A blade of pure light. Silent. Beautiful. Terrifying. The lightsaber cut through darkness like truth through lies. Criminals froze. Allies watched in horror. This wasn't Batman. This was something else. Something final. He won. Of course he did. But as the smoke cleared, Bruce saw the faces around him. Not relief. Fear. The same fear criminals once felt. The same fear he swore to protect people from. The Force pulsed. Waiting. Asking him to take the next step. To rule. To enforce peace forever. Bruce turned the blade off. He vanished that night. Gotham survived. Barely. Legends spread. Some say Batman died. Others say he watches from the stars. What matters is the choice he made. Power didn't corrupt him, but it nearly did. And the Force is still out there. Watching. Waiting for the next broken soul who thinks control can save the world. Because if Batman could almost fall, what chance does anyone else have? Here's the truth that hits hardest. Bruce didn't reject the Force because it was evil. He rejected it because it was right. Too right. It showed him solutions without mercy. Endings without hope. And for the first time, Batman understood something deeper than fear. That justice without restraint becomes tyranny. And that heroes don't win by controlling everything, but by choosing what not to control. But here's the question that refuses to die. What if Bruce had ignited that blade one more time? What if he believed peace was worth the cost? Because somewhere in the galaxy, the Force remembers him. And if it ever calls again, the answer might not be the same. And if you think this is where the story ends, you're already wrong. Because the Force doesn't forget its champions. And Gotham is still broken. So ask yourself this. If Batman ever returns, will he come back as a hero? Or as something the universe can't stop? Subscribe, because the next choice changes everything.